Well, that was a clip from the newest installment in the hit movie series Hunger Games. The lead character carries a bow and arrow through much of the film, and it's so popular that there are reports that it's single-handedly boosting interest in archery across the country. But now we are hearing a story about a fifth grader just suspended and facing possible expulsion for playfully firing an imaginary arrow at a classmate. Joining me now, Kelly Goff, a Daily Beast columnist, Rick Grinnell, former spokesperson for 4 U.S. ambassadors to the United Nations, and Jonas Bilbour, a criminal defense attorney. So we have a few hot topics to get to. That's the first one. I mean, like I said, it's the sign for Virgo, basically. Now, if you flash it, you get suspended and possibly expelled.
Absolutely ridiculous. Here's how ridiculous it is. If we're going to punish this poor kid for pretending to shoot a bow and arrow, let's ticket his parents for parking their unicorn in a fire zone. That's how dumb. There is no corpus to this crime, this event, Megan. Why? And let's not forget for a minute, the kid's 10.
Yeah.
He's 10. We encourage them to use their imagination.
And it's going to go down on his permanent record.
Right. Can I just say, I am so grateful I am not growing up in this age of insanity, political correctness run amok, because I clearly would have been busted for that Wonder Woman uniform I was rocking, right? Because that would have been too threatening and intimidating, goodness forbid, for my classmates. So I'm very lucky I don't have that on my record.
It's true. And this kid is actually facing possible expulsion, Rick. There's an appeal being made on his behalf, but they have not yet reversed this decision in any way.
We need to say the name Rana Kaufman. She's the principal. And come on, this is a ridiculous idea that you're going to punish someone. I mean, you really are punishing someone for imagination. We should be celebrating imagination.
Yeah.
We should be celebrating when people want to do something that doesn't have a gun.
He didn't actually hurt anybody. He didn't even have a weapon. He just thought about one and made a motion. I mean, that's what it's come to now. All right, let's move on to another story that's been raising some eyebrows. This baby seat. Now, I have a 4-month-old who, this is about the size of a 4-month-old here. You're looking at that one. It's called the Newborn to Toddler Aptivity Seat for iPad device by Fisher-Price. So this is basically if you just, I guess, don't want to speak to your child.
No, I love it.
Play with your child for a little while.
I love this.
You love it?
I love it.
Why?
First of all, I don't want to ban anything.
Okay.
So I think it's fantastic that mothers would have something that can be really easy for their child to do. I mean, what's the difference between this and that little thing that hangs over them and that they can play with it? It's still interactive.
Well, go ahead, Kelly.
Here's the thing. I think that those of us who are adults are actually on gadgets and screens way too much, and the data seems to confirm that. It says it's actually really bad. It's messing up our sleep patterns. It's messing up how we communicate with each other. And so the idea that we should be starting younger, I think we should actually be using less of this stuff, not encouraging younger people to use more. And they actually said that for kids under 2, the American Academy of Pediatrics says that screens are actually bad for kids.
They don't like the screens, and they don't like TV either, unless it's 9 p.m. on the Fox News channel. I have that on a special dispensation. But the thing is, when you put the little pulley toy in front of your child, like on the car seat or whatever it is, he pulls it, he hits it, he looks at it. Maybe he's thinking a little bit about it. Maybe there's a moment, but then he looks out the window and he thinks about that. He looks at mommy and he hears mommy's voice. This is all look at the big, Mickey Mouse or whatever. I mean, does it take away the opportunity for imagination?
Am I the only non-parent on the panel? Because in order for me to even have a kid, I would need an app for that. So I can't really even.
We'll talk later.
I think that we have the technology, so why not have the children?
Because negligent parents, caring parents are going to use it sparingly, but negligent parents are going to sit their kid in front of it.
They do that with Barney, though.
No, but do we need this? Do we have to create it and make it so easy for the parents?
Some parents actually need it.
But not just that, going back to the first story, imagination is a great thing. And actually, I was just reading a study on the way here that said that boredom is actually good for kids. I think about the fact that I became a writer in part because I was left to my own devices to have to come up with stories and think kooky things.
Can you not have imagination watching an iPad? I think you could have better imagination than that little plush toy that's just hanging there.
How so?
Because it's more interactive.
You don't fill in the blanks. You just look at the face changing. I mean, you're talking about an infant who's just there.
I think it's much more interesting than a hanging little stuffed animal.
See, if I'm in the car with my child and he starts crying, then I start singing, not present day, but I do something to, sort of interact and, it calls your attention.
Driver.
My child needs me. This is like, just turn the channel, honey. Come on, you're fine. Just press a little Einstein's. You'll love it. Okay, let's move on. There's a study out that modern men are starting to uptalk. That's the word. That's when you rise in pitch at the ends of your sentences. We just went through our show last night and pulled a clip from every man who was on. Watch.
They really know nothing about this law, and it's not nearly enough.
Now can't even build a website.
So happy that they didn't put handcuffs on you and put you in jail.
Study.
Wait, how brilliant was that? Especially Arthur. What does this mean? Does it mean like he's starting to become a valley girl?
He's identifying with women way too much.
Right? I don't know. But you raise a good point, because who did this study? University of California, San Diego linguist Amanda Richert, who presented the findings at the annual meeting of the Acoustical Society of America.
I mean,
Not a member?
Did 1 penny of government funding go into this study? This is ridiculous.
They needed to know, Rick. They had to find out, because they said their study busts the stereotype associated with uptalk, that those who speak uptalk actually ask questions instead of make statements. We just had that debate last night.
Yeah, but
No, we didn't.
You
Yeah, no one cares.
This is a hot issue in Congress right now, Megan.
Why is this necessary? They're trying to find out whether men are losing the authoritativeness in their voices, because
Now we're
there was a
sexist.
Duke University study that was out recently that said CEOs who speak in lower voices without the uptalk make more money than their counterparts.
I would agree with that. And I think the same goes for women. You, maybe not today, but you have one of those perfect female voices. It's not too pitchy. It's not too screechy.
Raspy.
And I think today it's very sexy. But I think in general, when you're getting sold something, for example, here's where I see it the most. If you're getting sold a car, a house, and a man is talking to you as a woman, I see them trying to talk more like they think women talk, with the uptalk, and that irritates me.
This
What's
is nice
interesting,
to know
though-
versus need to know.
Well, what's
What do we
interesting,
do
though,
with it?
is I was reminded of, do you remember when Senator Kirsten Gillibrand first came on the scene, and there was talk about her voice and whether or not that was going to hinder her career?
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff actually does matter, even though I think the study's pretty silly.
Well,
it has been shown to actually
The
matter.
earlier study by Duke University found that those with deeper voices have a distinct advantage over their high-pitched peers. They're found to earn more, and they say that lower-pitched voices are linked to dominant behavior, which I couldn't help but think of this little chestnut when I read that. Watch
What
it.
makes you dominant and me submissive? And who died and made you scientist-in-chief?
Maybe Eric Erickson was onto something. Maybe I am dominant because I have a lower voice. Thoughts?
I agree.
You agree?
You were in that clip.
Well, hopefully, thank you. Well, hopefully it's going to result in a whole bunch more money, as the study says it will. Panel, thank you.